Hello, this is Twala, aka Sister Cole. Today I'm going to be making goat head soup. Okay, it's delicious. It's a Jamaican dish. However, I will not be using the goat head because my family don't like the goat head. So instead, I will be using goat shoulder and goat leg with tripe. Okay, and the ingredients that I will be putting in the soup is, like I said, goat shoulder, goat leg, and tripe. Okay, carrots, yam, Irish potato, cocoa, turnip, ginger, garlic, onions, banana, thyme, scotch bonnet pepper. Okay, these ingredients you can get at the Caribbean store. All right, you can write them down if you don't know what they look like, and you can ask the people in the store, and they will be able to assist you. Okay, and the banana, it's not a ripe banana. Okay, it's a green banana. All right, so let's get it. All right, and I also will be using some garlic, some onion powder, some allspice, which is pimento seeds, and an onion. All right, so you have your pot of boiling water on, and you make sure you boil the water while you are cutting up your ingredients. You're going to add your onions, pimento, and garlic in the boiling water, along with your meat. Okay, I'm adding my goat and my tripe. All right, I'm adding my goat and my tripe. All right, and this is going to cook. You're going to allow your meat to cook. It's going to take about a good 45 minutes to an hour because we want the meat to be soft. We don't want the meat to be gristly and hard where nobody can chew it. So we're going to cover up our pot. As you can see, I have all of my food provisions cut up, okay? Everything that I showed you earlier, you know, the white yam, the potato, the Irish potato, the bananas, the cocoa, all of it is cut up. And yes, I left the peels on the banana because that's where the nutrients are. It's in the peel, in the peeling, okay? So that's cut up, and we're not going to put that in until the meat is fully cooked, okay? Because if we put it in earlier, the food will melt away, get really soft and soggy. So we don't want that to happen. And I am going to add the carrots inside of the boiling water as well. All right, you guys already know I washed my hands. I washed the meat. Everything is washed. Everything is clean, okay? Just throwing that in there. Okay, no dirty hands over here. No dirty meats over here. Okay, that meat was washed off with salt and with vinegar. Okay, and all my vegetables was washed off as well. Okay, these are ingredients that I have not put in as well, okay? Which is your chicken noodle soup mix, the scallion, the scotch bonnet pepper, and the onion powder along with the garlic powder. So I haven't put those in yet, okay? But I will. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm making the dough for the dumpling. This is a Jamaican dumpling, and I'm going to be, this is will be put inside of the soup that we're making. So what it consists of is flour, cornmeal, and about a teaspoon of salt, okay? And you add your water, you know, maybe like, it depends on how much flour you use. So you got to kind of gauge that, you know. This right here was maybe like a half a cup maybe of water, maybe a little less, give or take. And so you mix it together and you knead the dough, and you make sure that the dough is kind of tight, okay? All right. All right, while my pot is on while my meat is on, okay, you know what I'm doing? I'm washing the dishes. I am washing the dishes, and that's what you do when you're in the kitchen. You make sure that you clean as you go so that you don't, have a whole lot of dirty dishes to clean up, later on. So that's what you do. You wash as you go along. Wash as you go along. Then when the pot is done, guess what? All your dishes and stuff is clean, and only thing you may have left is just the dishes that the people eat out of, and that's it. But clean as you go. Clean as you go. All right, so I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna add some seasoning salt in the pot. This right here is called the Lawry's seasoning salt, okay? So I put a nice little generous amount in the pot. As again, you add as much as you feel comfortable with, okay? So I'm gonna add that in the pot so that the meat can have flavor while it's cooking, okay? I'm doing my dumplings now, okay? So you take a piece of dumpling. This is called the spinner. Put in your hands like that, roll it, that's a spinner, okay? All right, now take another piece of dumpling, okay? And I'm gonna roll it in a ball. And when you roll it in a ball, mash it out, and that's your small dumpling. Now, if you come over here, you look in my pot, and there are my dumplings I'm making right there in the pot. All right, we're gonna put them in soon. Okay. All right, so now we're getting ready to put in the provisions or the food, the potatoes and all of that stuff we cut up earlier, and we're going to add it in the pot. All right, Kylie, I'm gonna put my granddaughter camera person. Okay, bring the phone over a little bit so they can see. Okay, so I'm adding the food to the pot. Okay, so I'm gonna I have my tea kettle on. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm gonna add some hot water, more water to the pot, because the water kind of boiled down a little bit. So I have my kettle on. Watch out. Oops. I have my kettle on. So now I'm gonna add some more water, just a little bit above the food. Yeah. I'm also going to add my Scotch bonnet, my scallion, and my thyme. All right, so you add these potatoes and all of these seasonings. You add this once the meat has has cooked and gotten pretty soft, nice and soft. That's when you add these potatoes, and that's when you add the food. Okay, so the meat was cooking for about an hour. All right, for about an hour. Okay, and then when you put your food in, your potatoes and your scallion, your bananas, and all of the turnips and the cocoa, when you put all of that in, now you're gonna let this cook. All right, so you're gonna now let this cook. All right, I'm gonna add in some garlic powder. Okay, you see I was kind of generous with it. Okay. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of the Lawry's. Because remember, it's been boiling for an hour. Okay. And then I just added more water to the pot. So that means the seasoning is, you know, kind of phase out a little bit when you add water. So now you got to make sure you season back up your pot again. All right. Season up your pot again, okay? So then you're going to let this go ahead and boil until the food inside of it is cooked. The potatoes and all the good stuff is cooked, okay? All right. All right, now I'm going to add some Maggi all-purpose seasoning. All right, so I'm going to add a nice little generous amount, okay? And I'm also getting ready to put my dumplings in, okay? So I'm putting these things in because my my soup is, the food that was in the soup is now cooked. All right, so when your soup is cooked, then you add your dumplings in, okay? Yes, see what it looks like. Now I'm gonna add in the dumplings, all right? Oh, let me add one more dumpling in while they're on. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm gonna add my chicken noodle soup mix also inside of the soup. All right. So those are all the ingredients. So you're gonna sit and cook this until your dumplings and everything is done, and that's pretty much it. Your goat head soup. Now this is a little bit fuller than some goat head soup when people cook it, and that's because I wanted it to be a little bit more full because I'm serving it for dinner. So I didn't want it to be thin. So I really added a lot of food in it, okay? Because cooking this is a dinner, so I want it to be filling. So I added a lot. Some people, when they're doing it, they may not cook it to where it has so much ingredients in it, okay? But this is your goat head soup. This is the finished product. This is goat head soup. Look at it. It tastes so good. I wish you were here to taste it. My kitchen smells so beautiful.